Have you ever wondered why some individuals seem to effortlessly command respect, spark deep connections, and leave others wanting more after every interaction? It's not magic, it's a set of principles anyone can learn. Today, we're uncovering the secrets of how high-value individuals communicate. Here's the thing: modern communication is noisy, rushed, and often shallow. Social media and societal pressure push us toward quick, flashy conversations that rarely leave a lasting impact. Most people fall into this trap. They talk without purpose, react emotionally, and fail to listen. Are you one of them? And if so, what would your life look like if you could break free? But here's the good news. You can transform the way you communicate, not by pretending to be someone you're not, but by becoming more authentic, grounded, and intentional. This isn't about tricks or gimmicks. It's about tapping into timeless principles rooted in Stoicism, principles that help you remain calm under pressure, connect deeply, and leave a lasting impression. High-value communication isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. It's about mastering your emotions, speaking with purpose, and building genuine connections that people remember. Think about it. How would it feel to walk into a room and have your words carry weight, your presence command respect, and your interactions leave others inspired? We'll dive into 7 powerful principles that high-value individuals use to communicate effectively, starting with mastering emotional control. Each of these principles builds on the last, creating a seamless flow that will completely change how you approach conversations. Stick with me, and I promise you'll leave with actionable insights that you can apply immediately. Let's begin. 1. Mastering emotional control. Mastering emotional control is about developing the ability to remain calm and composed, even in the most chaotic or emotionally charged situations. Imagine being in the middle of a heated argument or a high-pressure moment. Most people would react impulsively, raising their voice, getting defensive, or letting frustration take over. But a high-value individual understands that reacting emotionally only adds fuel to the fire and diminishes their ability to lead the conversation. Emotional control isn't about suppressing feelings or becoming stoic in a robotic sense. It's about channeling those emotions in a way that aligns with your values and goals. The cost of emotional reactivity is clear. How many times have you regretted saying something out of anger or frustration? Words spoken in the heat of the moment often lead to hurt feelings, broken trust, and situations that spiral out of control. High-value individuals avoid these regrets by pausing before they respond. That brief moment of reflection, a single breath or a counted pause, allows them to regain perspective. When you take a moment to step back, you're no longer reacting, you're responding with intention. A foundational principle of Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what we can control. This simple but profound idea transforms how we approach communication. Think about it. When someone criticizes or challenges you, your initial instinct might be to defend yourself or argue back. But is their opinion something you can control? Absolutely not. What you can control is your response. Emotional control, therefore, becomes an act of reclaiming your power, shifting the focus from external chaos to internal clarity. High-value individuals practice emotional control by identifying their triggers and reframing their perspective. A trigger could be anything: a dismissive comment, being interrupted, or feeling criticized. Instead of letting those moments provoke an automatic reaction, they pause and ask themselves, is this worth my energy? Does this define me? Often they find that the situation doesn't warrant the emotional investment it initially seemed to demand. Reframing is equally powerful. If someone interrupts you, rather than interpreting it as disrespect, consider it enthusiasm for the conversation. This mindset shift keeps emotions in check and the dialogue constructive. Detachment is another hallmark of emotional control. High-value individuals don't tie their self-worth to a single outcome, whether it's winning an argument, gaining approval, or impressing others. They recognize that validation is fleeting, and true confidence comes from within. In Stoic relationships, this kind of emotional detachment builds trust. It allows for open, honest communication without the fear of overreactions or dramatic fallout. Your partner feels secure because they know you're grounded, unshaken by minor disagreements or external stress. The ripple effect of mastering emotional control is remarkable. Not only do you gain a greater sense of peace and self-assurance, but others naturally gravitate toward your stability. In a world where drama often dominates, calmness becomes a rare and valued trait. People are drawn to those who remain composed because they provide a sense of safety and reliability. In professional settings, this could mean earning respect as a leader. In personal relationships, it could mean becoming the person others turn to for guidance or comfort. Building emotional control takes practice, and it won't happen overnight. There will be times when emotions get the better of you, when frustration or anger sneaks in before you can stop it. That's okay. What matters is how quickly you recognize those moments and course correct. By consistently pausing, reframing, and focusing on what you can control, you strengthen this skill over time. The question you need to ask yourself is this: how would my life change if I mastered emotional control? Would my relationships improve? Would I gain more respect from my peers? Would I experience less stress and regret? The answers are likely transformative. Emotional control doesn't just enhance how others perceive you. It also transforms how you perceive yourself. When you are no longer at the mercy of fleeting emotions, you feel stronger, more confident, and more in tune with your values. By mastering this principle, you lay the foundation for every other aspect of high-value communication. It's the first step to building deeper connections, earning respect, and leading with authenticity. Once you've harnessed your emotions, you're ready to take the next step, speaking with purpose, making every word you say meaningful and impactful. 2. Speaking with purpose. Have you ever noticed how much noise fills conversations these days? People talk to fill the silence, ramble to avoid awkwardness, or overload their words with fluff that doesn't carry any weight. Now think about the moments when someone truly captivated you with their words. It wasn't because they talked a lot, it was because they spoke with purpose. High-value individuals excel at this. Every word they choose carries intention, meaning, and impact. Their conversations leave a lasting impression not because they're the loudest, but because they're the most deliberate. Speaking with purpose starts with understanding that silence is not your enemy. In fact, silence can be one of the most powerful tools in your communication arsenal. High-value individuals know that every pause, every moment of quiet, serves a function. It allows their words to settle, their listener to reflect, and the conversation to breathe. Most people, however, rush to fill the gaps. They fear that silence will make them seem awkward or disinterested. But here's the truth. Silence communicates confidence. It shows that you're comfortable in the moment and don't need to rely on constant chatter for validation. Think about the last time you felt compelled to speak just to avoid silence. Did what you say truly matter? Did it add value to the conversation? Or was it just noise? High-value communication requires you to step back and ask yourself, why am I saying this? Purposeful speech means saying only what needs to be said, and that discipline is where respect is earned. It's about making your words count. One of the easiest ways to begin speaking with purpose is to slow down. Many people rush through their words, trying to get as much out as quickly as possible. This often comes across as nervousness or insecurity. High-value individuals, however, take their time. They speak slowly, deliberately, and with a natural rhythm that draws others in. When you slow down, you give your words the space to carry weight. You also give yourself the opportunity to think before you speak, a hallmark of purposeful communication. Now consider this. Do you know people who always seem to dominate conversations with endless talking? They're so busy speaking that they forget to listen. High-value individuals take the opposite approach. They focus less on talking and more on listening. When they do speak, it's because they have something meaningful to say. This is where they truly stand out, because their words come from a place of depth, not a need to impress. But what does it mean to speak with depth? It means being thoughtful about your message. Instead of falling back on cliches or surface-level comments, you dig deeper. Rather than complimenting someone with, "You're so pretty," which they've likely heard 100 times, you could say, There's something really striking about the way you carry yourself. It's intriguing. Notice the difference. One comment is generic, the other is specific, thoughtful, and unique. It opens the door to a richer conversation, one where the other person feels truly seen and appreciated. This brings us to another critical aspect of speaking with purpose: personalization. High-value individuals don't use blanket statements or cookie-cutter compliments. They tailor their words to the person and the situation, showing that they're fully present in the moment. For example, instead of asking the generic, "What do you do for fun?" you might ask, "What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't had the chance to yet?" That single question can shift the entire tone of a conversation, moving it from small talk to meaningful dialogue. Purposeful communication also involves clarity. How often do you find yourself rambling to explain something simple? When you're clear and concise, people don't just hear you, they understand you. High-value individuals avoid unnecessary complexity in their language. They choose words that are precise and impactful, ensuring that their message is received exactly as intended. This clarity also makes them more credible because it demonstrates that they've taken the time to think before speaking. One of the most overlooked elements of speaking with purpose is the ability to embrace silence. High-value individuals know when to stop talking. They don't feel the need to dominate the conversation or prove their worth through endless dialogue. Instead, they understand that sometimes saying nothing is more powerful than saying something. Silence can create intrigue, give others space to speak, and allow the moment to unfold naturally. In a world where everyone is fighting to be heard, the ability to stay silent is a rare and admirable skill. As you begin practicing this principle, remember that purposeful speech isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You don't need to craft every sentence like a masterpiece, but you should aim to make your words intentional. Start small. Before you speak, pause and ask yourself, does this add value? Does it move the conversation forward? Does it reflect who I am and what I stand for? If the answer is yes, speak with confidence. If the answer is no, consider letting the moment pass. Speaking with purpose doesn't just make you a better communicator, it transforms the way people perceive you. It builds respect, fosters deeper connections, and sets you apart from those who speak just to be heard. When your words carry weight, people remember them, and by extension, they remember you. Now let's think about the long-term impact of this principle. How would your relationships change if every conversation you had felt meaningful? How much stronger would your connections be if you focused on quality over quantity in your communication? This isn't just about impressing others, it's about creating authentic, lasting relationships where your words genuinely matter. When you apply this principle to Stoic relationships, it becomes even more powerful. Purposeful communication aligns perfectly with the Stoic emphasis on intentional living. It allows you to prioritize what truly matters, avoid distractions, and stay grounded in your values. By speaking with purpose, you not only elevate yourself, but also create a foundation of trust and respect in your relationships. If this idea resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. How often do you speak just to fill the silence? How often do you say things you don't truly mean, just to keep the conversation going? Imagine how much more impactful your interactions could be if you made every word count. Here's something to try right now. The next time you're in a conversation, challenge yourself to listen more and speak less. When you do speak, pause and consider whether your words are purposeful. This small shift in mindset can have a profound impact, not just on how others perceive you, but on how you perceive yourself. If you're finding value in these insights, let's keep the conversation going. Like and comment number 1 if this principle resonates with you. And don't forget to subscribe for more ways to elevate your communication and relationships. Your support helps us continue sharing practical strategies that truly make a difference. Remember, purposeful communication isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. It's about choosing words that reflect who you are, what you value, and what you want to create in the world. When you master this, you become someone people want to listen to, someone they admire and respect. It's time to elevate your conversations and take the next step in becoming the best version of yourself. 3. Active listening. How often do you truly listen during a conversation? not just hearing the words but actively engaging with the person speaking, giving them your undivided attention free of distractions, and making them feel like the center of your world. Active listening is one of the most powerful yet undervalued tools in communication, and high-value individuals master it to set themselves apart. We live in a world of constant noise, endless notifications, and divided attention. It's no wonder most people feel unheard. Think about your own experiences. How many times have you been in a conversation where the other person was more focused on their phone, their next thought, or even the surrounding environment than on you? How did that make you feel? Now reverse the roles. When you give someone your full focused attention, it creates a connection that's not just felt but remembered. Active listening isn't just about hearing the words being spoken, it's about understanding the meaning behind them. High-value individuals don't listen to respond, they listen to understand. They recognize that listening is more than waiting for their turn to speak. It's about immersing themselves in the other person's perspective. This level of attentiveness is rare, and because of its rarity, it's incredibly attractive. But what does active listening look like in practice? First and foremost, it requires being present. In today's fast-paced world, being fully present in a conversation is a gift. High-value individuals eliminate distractions, phones are put away, wandering thoughts are silenced, and their focus is entirely on the person in front of them. Presence signals respect, and respect is the foundation of meaningful communication. Another hallmark of active listening is maintaining eye contact. While it might seem like a small detail, eye contact is one of the most powerful nonverbal cues you can use to show someone you're fully engaged. It tells the other person, I see you, I'm with you, and I value what you're saying. High-value individuals don't shy away from this connection, they embrace it. Their eye contact is steady but not overwhelming, confident but not intrusive. Listening actively also means responding thoughtfully. This doesn't mean rushing to offer advice or solutions. It means acknowledging the other person's feelings and ideas. Sometimes all someone needs is to feel heard. A simple nod, a well-timed "I see what you mean," or a question that digs deeper into what they're sharing can transform an ordinary conversation into a profound connection. Questions are a key part of active listening. High-value individuals use open-ended questions to show genuine curiosity and encourage others to share more. For example, instead of asking, "Did you enjoy your weekend?" which invites a yes or no answer, they might ask, "What was the most interesting thing you did this weekend?" This subtle shift in phrasing opens the door to richer, more meaningful dialogue. However, listening actively goes beyond just what's being said. It also involves paying attention to what's not being said. Tone, body language, and subtle pauses often convey more than words. High-value individuals tune into these nonverbal cues, using them to gain a deeper understanding of the other person's emotions and thoughts. When someone's words and body language don't align, it's often a signal that there's more beneath the surface. By noticing and gently exploring these discrepancies, you show a level of empathy and attentiveness that few others offer. In the context of Stoic relationships, active listening becomes even more crucial. Stoicism teaches us to focus on others' perspectives without judgment or emotional reactivity. When you listen with a Stoic mindset, you create space for the other person to express themselves fully. This openness fosters trust, understanding, and emotional safety, which are the cornerstones of any meaningful relationship. Consider the ripple effect of becoming an active listener. When people feel heard, they naturally open up more. They feel valued and respected, which deepens their connection with you. Active listening isn't just about making others feel good, it's also about learning. Every person you meet has something to teach you, and by truly listening, you gain access to their insights, experiences, and perspectives. But active listening doesn't always come naturally. It's a skill that requires practice and intention. Start by noticing your habits. Do you interrupt others mid-sentence? Do you start formulating your response before they've finished speaking? These tendencies, while common, can detract from the quality of your interactions. Becoming aware of them is the first step toward change. Next, practice being fully present in every conversation. Put away distractions, maintain eye contact, and resist the urge to think about your next point. Instead, focus entirely on the other person. This level of attention might feel unfamiliar at first, but over time it will become second nature. Another strategy is to reflect on what the other person has said before responding. Paraphrasing their words shows that you've been paying attention and helps clarify any misunderstandings. For example, you might say, "So what you're saying is," or "It sounds like you're feeling." This not only validates their experience, but also encourages them to elaborate. As you refine your listening skills, you'll notice how much more engaging and rewarding your conversations become. People will gravitate toward you, not because of what you say, but because of how you make them feel. In a world where most people feel overlooked and unheard, your ability to listen actively will set you apart as someone truly remarkable. Finally, remember that active listening is about more than just communication, it's about connection. When you listen deeply, you create a bond that goes beyond words. You show others that they matter, that their thoughts and feelings are worth your time and attention. This is the essence of high-value communication. So ask yourself, how often do you really listen? Are you giving the people in your life the attention they deserve? Or are you distracted by your own thoughts and priorities? What would change if you committed to being fully present in every conversation? The answers to these questions hold the key to transforming not just your communication, but also your relationships and the way others perceive you. Active listening is not a skill to be underestimated. It's a simple yet profound practice that can elevate your interactions, strengthen your connections, and align you with the principles of Stoicism. As you begin to listen more deeply, you'll discover that the true power of communication lies not in the words you speak, but in the space you create for others to be heard. This is the mark of a high-value individual, someone who brings out the best in others by offering them the gift of their full, undivided attention. 4. Confidence without ego. Confidence is magnetic. It's the kind of energy that draws people in, the invisible force that makes someone seem trustworthy, capable, and undeniably attractive. But here's the catch. Confidence is only truly powerful when it's free from ego. High-value individuals exude this rare type of confidence. It's quiet, steady, and self-assured, without the need to boast or seek validation. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't shout, "Look at me," but instead says, "I know my worth, and I don't need to prove it to anyone." Now, let's be honest. How often do we mistake ego for confidence? In a world that glorifies loudness and self-promotion, many people think that talking about their accomplishments or dominating a conversation will earn them respect. But here's the truth. Nothing repels people faster than arrogance. Real confidence comes from within. It doesn't demand attention, and it certainly doesn't belittle others to feel superior. High-value individuals understand this distinction deeply. They know that true confidence speaks for itself. It's in the way they carry themselves, the way they handle challenges, and the way they treat others. Ego, on the other hand, seeks constant validation and crumbles at the slightest hint of criticism. If your confidence relies on external approval, it's fragile. But when it's rooted in self-awareness and self-respect, it's unshakable. So how can you develop confidence without ego? It starts with shifting your mindset. Confidence isn't about being the loudest voice in the room or showcasing your achievements. It's about knowing your value, regardless of whether anyone else recognizes it. This kind of quiet confidence is incredibly rare, and because it's rare, it's powerful. One of the most effective ways to cultivate this mindset is by letting your actions speak louder than your words. High-value individuals don't need to brag because their character and achievements are evident without explanation. For example, instead of telling someone how hardworking you are, let them see it through your consistency and dedication. Instead of talking about your success, let it show in the quality of your work and the respect others give you. But what about those moments when you're tempted to seek validation? Perhaps you've achieved something you're proud of, and you want others to notice. There's nothing wrong with celebrating your wins, but high-value individuals do so with humility. They share their successes in a way that inspires others, not in a way that demands admiration. For instance, instead of saying, Look at how amazing I am. They might say, I'm grateful for this opportunity and the lessons it taught me. Another hallmark of confidence without ego is the ability to handle criticism gracefully. Ego sees criticism as a threat, something to be deflected or denied. Confidence, however, views it as an opportunity to grow. High-value individuals welcome constructive feedback because they understand that it's not a reflection of their worth, it's a tool for self-improvement. The next time someone offers you critique, resist the urge to get defensive. Instead, thank them and consider how you can use their insights to become better. This mindset is particularly important in the context of Stoic relationships. Confidence without ego fosters mutual respect and understanding. When you're not consumed by the need to prove yourself, you can focus on supporting and uplifting your partner. You listen more, you judge less, and you create a space where both of you can thrive. This kind of dynamic is rare, but it's incredibly fulfilling, and it starts with humility and self-awareness. High-value individuals also understand that confidence without ego means being secure enough to celebrate others. Instead of seeing someone else's success as a threat, they view it as inspiration. They know that lifting others up doesn't diminish their own worth. In fact, it enhances it. The next time someone shares their achievements, resist the urge to compare yourself. Instead, celebrate their success genuinely. It's a sign of true confidence. But what does this look like in practice? Imagine you're in a group setting and someone brings up a topic you're knowledgeable about. Ego might push you to dominate the conversation, to showcase how much you know. Confidence, on the other hand, would encourage you to contribute thoughtfully, adding value without overshadowing others. It's the difference between saying, I know everything about this, and saying, I've studied this topic before, here's something that might help. Confidence without ego also extends to how you handle disagreements. Ego insists on being right at all costs, while confidence values understanding over winning. High-value individuals approach conflicts with curiosity, not hostility. They're willing to admit when they're wrong because they prioritize growth over pride. This humility not only strengthens their relationships, but also earns them respect. I think about the most confident person you know. Chances are, they're not the one constantly talking about their achievements or trying to outshine others. Instead, they're the one who listens, supports, and leads by example. They're secure in themselves, and that security allows them to be genuinely present with others. This is the essence of confidence without ego. It's grounded, authentic, and deeply impactful. As you reflect on this principle, ask yourself, where does your confidence come from? Is it tied to external validation, or does it come from within? What would change in your life if you let go of ego and embrace true self-assurance? These questions can help you identify areas for growth and guide you toward becoming a high-value individual. The journey to confidence without ego isn't always easy. It requires self-awareness, humility, and a willingness to let go of the need for approval. But the rewards are profound. When you embody this kind of confidence, you don't just elevate yourself, you elevate everyone around you. If this idea resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on how you can apply it in your life. Start small. Practice celebrating others, staying humble in your successes, and listening more than you speak. Over time, these habits will transform not only how others perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. If you're enjoying this exploration of what it means to be a high-value individual, let's keep the momentum going. Like this video and comment number 1 if this principle resonates with you. And don't forget to subscribe to stay connected for more insights that can elevate your communication and relationships. Together, we can continue this journey of growth and authenticity. Remember, true confidence is quiet, steady, and self-assured. It's not about proving your worth, it's about knowing it. Let this principle guide you as you navigate your conversations, relationships, and challenges. Confidence without ego isn't just a trait of high-value individuals, it's a way of life. 5. Asking thoughtful questions. The quality of your questions determines the quality of your conversations. High-value individuals know this and approach every interaction with a sense of curiosity and purpose. They don't rely on generic questions or surface-level small talk. Instead, they ask thoughtful, meaningful questions that open the door to deeper, more engaging conversations. Imagine the difference between these two questions. What do you do for work? Versus what's something about your work that inspires you the most? The first question might elicit a short, routine response, while the second invites reflection, emotion, and storytelling. Thoughtful questions have this power. They go beyond the surface and show genuine interest in the other person. High-value individuals use questions not just to gather information but to build connections. A thoughtful question communicates, "I see you, and I'm genuinely curious about your perspective." This is especially important in a world where many people feel unheard. By asking questions that matter, you set yourself apart as someone who values depth and authenticity. But how do you craft thoughtful questions? It starts with being present in the conversation. High-value individuals don't enter interactions with a script. They listen closely to what's being said and respond with curiosity. For example, if someone mentions a recent trip, they might ask, "What was the most memorable part of your trip?" Or "How did that experience change the way you see the world?" These questions are tailored to the moment, making the conversation feel organic and engaging. Another key to asking meaningful questions is to focus on the why and how behind someone's thoughts or experiences. Instead of sticking to factual questions, dive into their motivations, values, or emotions. For instance, rather than asking, "What's your favorite book?" you might say, "What's a book that shaped the way you think, and why did it have that impact on you?" This approach shows that you're not just looking for an answer, you're looking for insight. High-value individuals also know the importance of balancing questions with attentiveness. Asking a thoughtful question is only half the equation. The other half is listening actively to the response. This means maintaining eye contact, nodding to show understanding, and responding with follow-up questions that deepen the dialogue. For example, if someone shares a story about overcoming a challenge, you might ask, "What was the biggest lesson you took away from that experience?" Or "How do you think that moment shaped who you are today?" Follow-up questions show that you're truly engaged and interested in what they have to say. In Stoic relationships, thoughtful questions take on an even greater significance. Stoicism emphasizes understanding others without judgment, and asking the right questions is a powerful way to practice this principle. When you ask someone about their dreams, challenges, or values, you create a space where they feel safe to share their true selves. This kind of vulnerability builds trust and strengthens your connection, making your relationships more meaningful and resilient. Thoughtful questions also allow you to uncover hidden layers of a person's personality. People are often guarded in conversations, sticking to safe, predictable topics. But when you ask a question that challenges them to think or reflect, you invite them to open up in ways they might not have expected. For instance, instead of asking, "What do you do in your free time?" you could say, "If you had unlimited time and resources, what's something you'd love to learn or create?" Questions like this not only spark interesting conversations but also reveal deeper truths about a person's passions and aspirations. However, thoughtful questioning isn't just about the other person, it's also a reflection of you. The questions you ask reveal your level of curiosity, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. When you ask meaningful questions, you show that you're not just going through the motions of a conversation, you're actively seeking to understand and connect. This quality is incredibly attractive because it demonstrates that you value relationships and aren't afraid to explore the complexities of others. But asking thoughtful questions isn't always easy. It requires you to step out of your comfort zone and embrace vulnerability. Sometimes, a deep question might catch the other person off guard, or they might not know how to respond immediately. That's okay. High-value individuals are patient and respectful, giving others the time and space they need to process and answer. This patience creates an environment of trust and mutual respect, which is the foundation of any strong relationship. Consider this. How often do you default to small talk because it feels safe? How many times have you walked away from a conversation feeling like you barely scratched the surface? Thoughtful questions are your way out of this cycle. They allow you to break through the barriers of superficiality and engage in conversations that matter. By doing so, you not only enrich your own life, but also leave a lasting impact on the people you meet. Here's a challenge for you. The next time you're in a conversation, skip the usual small talk and ask a question that goes deeper. Instead of asking, "What's new with you?" try, What's something exciting or meaningful that's happened to you recently? Notice how the tone of the conversation shifts. Notice how the other person responds. You might be surprised at how quickly a thoughtful question can turn a casual interaction into a memorable connection. But thoughtful questions aren't just a communication tool. They're a way of showing others that you value them. When you take the time to ask meaningful questions, you give people the gift of being seen and understood. This gift is rare, and because it's rare, it's incredibly powerful. High-value individuals understand this, and they use thoughtful questions not just to connect with others, but to elevate the quality of their relationships. Think about the most meaningful conversation you've ever had. Chances are, it didn't revolve around small talk or generic questions. It was likely filled with curiosity, empathy, and moments of deep connection. By asking thoughtful questions, you can create those kinds of conversations consistently. You can transform how people experience you and how you experience them. The beauty of thoughtful questions is that they're simple yet profound. They don't require you to be an expert or a brilliant conversationalist. They just require you to care. When you approach every interaction with genuine curiosity and a desire to understand, your questions naturally become more meaningful. And as your questions improve, so do your connections. So ask yourself, how can I bring more thoughtfulness into my conversations? What questions can I ask that show I'm truly interested in the people I meet? The answers to these questions will guide you toward becoming a high-value individual who doesn't just talk, but connects, inspires, and leaves a lasting impression. 6. Stoic body language. Before you even say a word, your body has already communicated volumes. Your posture, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact all send powerful messages about who you are and how you feel. High-value individuals understand this better than anyone. They know that their body language is an extension of their confidence and self-assurance. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you present yourself. Think about this. When someone walks into a room with their head held high, their movements deliberate, and their posture strong, you can feel their presence. You don't even need to hear them speak to know they're confident and composed. On the other hand, slouched shoulders, fidgeting, or avoiding eye contact instantly convey insecurity or nervousness. High-value individuals master Stoic body language because they know it speaks louder than words. Stoic body language is grounded in one key principle: calm and controlled movements. High-value individuals move with intention, never rushing or fidgeting. They know that every action, no matter how small, can convey either confidence or doubt. For instance, walking slowly and deliberately shows composure, while pacing or darting glances can signal anxiety. This is why high-value individuals practice stillness. They remain poised even in high-pressure situations, because they understand that their physical presence sets the tone for how others perceive them. Eye contact is another cornerstone of Stoic body language. Maintaining steady, confident eye contact communicates attentiveness, respect, and self-assurance. High-value individuals know how to balance this. They're not staring people down, but rather meeting their gaze in a way that feels natural and engaging. If you've ever felt a deep connection during a conversation, chances are it was because of meaningful eye contact. It's a simple yet powerful way to establish trust and build rapport. Posture is equally important. High-value individuals stand tall with their shoulders back and their chest open. This isn't just about looking confident, it's about feeling confident. Studies have shown that your posture can actually influence your mood and self-perception. When you hold yourself in a powerful stance, you're more likely to feel powerful. Conversely, slouching can make you feel less confident and more withdrawn. Practicing good posture isn't just a physical adjustment, it's a mental one too. Let's talk about gestures. High-value individuals keep their movements purposeful and controlled. They avoid fidgeting or making excessive hand movements that can distract from their message. Instead, their gestures are deliberate and complement what they're saying. For example, using open-handed gestures can make you appear more approachable and trustworthy. On the other hand, crossed arms or clenched fists might convey defensiveness or tension. Being mindful of your gestures allows you to align your body language with your words. creating a more cohesive and impactful presence. But Stoic body language isn't just about what you project, it's also about how you respond to others. High-value individuals are masters of nonverbal listening cues. They nod thoughtfully, lean in slightly to show engagement, and mirror the other person's body language in a subtle and natural way. These small actions make the other person feel understood and valued, which strengthens the connection between them. This is especially powerful in Stoic relationships, where emotional safety and trust are built on mutual respect and attentiveness. One of the most underrated aspects of Stoic body language is the ability to remain composed under pressure. High-value individuals know that how they carry themselves in difficult moments speaks volumes about their character. Imagine being in a tense conversation or an argument. Most people's body language would betray their frustration or anxiety, clenched jaws, furrowed brows, or restless movements. But a high-value individual remains calm. They breathe deeply, keep their movements slow and steady, and maintain an open, non-confrontational stance. This composure not only diffuses tension but also earns respect from those around them. If you're wondering how to start mastering Stoic body language, the first step is awareness. Pay attention to your posture, gestures, and facial expressions throughout the day. Are you slouching in your chair? Are you fidgeting during conversations? Simply noticing these habits is the first step to changing them. Practice standing tall, keeping your movements deliberate, and maintaining relaxed, steady eye contact. Another way to refine your body language is by observing others. Notice how confident people carry themselves. How do they enter a room? How do they use their hands when they speak? What does their posture say about their mindset? By studying these cues, you can incorporate similar habits into your own behavior. Remember, Stoic body language isn't about being rigid or robotic. It's about being grounded, authentic, and in control of how you present yourself. When you embody this principle, you communicate confidence without saying a word. People will sense your composure and strength, and they'll naturally be drawn to you. This principle aligns perfectly with the broader philosophy of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and your body language is something you have complete control over. No matter what challenges you face or how others behave, you can choose to carry yourself with grace and confidence. This kind of self-mastery is rare, and it's a defining trait of high-value individuals. As you practice Stoic body language, think about the impression you want to leave on others. Do you want to appear approachable and trustworthy? Do you want to convey strength and composure? Every aspect of your body language contributes to the story you're telling. So make sure it's a story you're proud of. If you found this principle insightful, take it a step further by applying it in your daily life. Notice how your body language affects your interactions and how people respond to you. If this idea resonates with you, like this video and comment number 1 to let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more practical insights on communication and personal growth. Your journey to becoming a high-value individual starts here, one principle at a time. Remember, your presence speaks before your words do. Master your body language, and you'll master the art of silent confidence. 7. Mastering emotional control. Emotional control is the foundation of high-value communication. It's the ability to remain calm, collected, and composed regardless of the circumstances. High-value individuals don't allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They act based on principles, not impulses. This level of control not only commands respect but also creates stability in their relationships and interactions. Why is emotional control so powerful? Consider the alternative: reacting impulsively to every challenge, criticism, or difficult situation. Emotional reactivity often leads to regret, saying something in anger, making rash decisions, or escalating conflicts unnecessarily. High-value individuals understand that while emotions are natural, they don't have to control you. Instead, they practice mastery over their feelings, ensuring that their responses align with their values and goals. One of the most important aspects of emotional control is self-awareness. High-value individuals are deeply in tune with their emotional states. They recognize when frustration, anger, or anxiety begins to rise and take proactive steps to manage those feelings. Self-awareness allows them to pause, reflect, and choose a response that's thoughtful rather than reactive. For instance, instead of snapping back at a criticism, they might take a deep breath and calmly ask for clarification. This approach not only diffuses tension but also demonstrates maturity and confidence. In Stoicism, emotional control is a core principle. The philosophy teaches that while we can't control external events, we can control our internal reactions to them. High-value individuals live by this idea. They focus their energy on what they can influence, such as their mindset, actions, and behavior, rather than wasting it on things outside their control. This Stoic mindset enables them to stay grounded, even in the face of adversity. But how does one cultivate emotional control? It begins with learning to pause. When emotions run high, there's often a powerful urge to act immediately, whether it's to defend yourself, retaliate, or withdraw. High-value individuals resist this urge by taking a moment to breathe and reflect. This pause creates a space between stimulus and response, allowing them to choose a course of action that's intentional and aligned with their values. Another key to emotional control is perspective. High-value individuals ask themselves questions that help reframe challenging situations. For example, when faced with criticism, they might think, "What can I learn from this?" Or "Will this matter in a year?" These questions shift their focus from the immediate discomfort to the bigger picture, enabling them to respond with clarity and purpose. In relationships, emotional control plays a transformative role. It allows high-value individuals to navigate disagreements or conflicts with grace. Instead of becoming defensive or escalating the argument, they remain calm and focused on finding a resolution. This kind of composure fosters trust and respect, creating a safe environment for open and honest communication. In Stoic relationships, this stability is especially valuable. It shows that one partner can provide emotional security, even in turbulent times. Another important aspect of emotional control is detachment from outcomes. High-value individuals understand that they can't always predict or control how others will respond. Instead of becoming overly attached to a specific result, they focus on their own actions and intentions. For example, if they express their feelings to someone, they do so without expecting a particular reaction in return. This detachment frees them from the anxiety of seeking validation and allows them to communicate with authenticity. Emotional control also involves setting boundaries, not just with others but with yourself. High-value individuals recognize their triggers and establish strategies to manage them effectively. For instance, if they know that certain topics tend to provoke strong emotions, they prepare themselves in advance by practicing calming techniques or reframing their mindset. By managing their own boundaries, they protect their emotional well-being and maintain their composure in challenging situations. Composure under pressure is another hallmark of emotional control. High-value individuals excel in environments where tensions run high, whether it's during a disagreement, a difficult conversation, or a high-stakes decision. Their ability to stay calm and focused in these moments inspires confidence in others. People naturally gravitate toward those who can remain steady in the face of adversity because they provide a sense of security and reassurance. Practicing emotional control isn't about suppressing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It's about acknowledging your emotions, understanding their source, and choosing how to respond. High-value individuals are not emotionless. They're emotionally intelligent. They use their feelings as information, not as directives, and they channel them in ways that align with their values and goals. This principle extends to how they handle rejection, criticism, or setbacks. High-value individuals don't let these experiences shake their self-worth. They view rejection as a natural part of life and an opportunity to grow. For instance, if a job application is declined or a relationship doesn't work out, they don't dwell on the loss or take it personally. Instead, they focus on what they can learn and how they can improve. This resilience is a key part of their emotional control, and it's one of the reasons they're so respected. As you work to master emotional control, start by reflecting on your own reactions. What situations tend to provoke the strongest emotional responses in you? How do you typically respond in those moments? What might change if you paused, reflected, and chose a more intentional response? These questions can help you identify patterns in your behavior and guide you toward greater self-awareness. Another practical exercise is to practice gratitude in moments of frustration. When you feel anger or impatience rising, pause and think of something you're grateful for in that moment. This simple shift in focus can help diffuse negative emotions and bring you back to a state of calm. Over time, these small practices build your capacity for emotional control and make it a natural part of how you interact with the world. Emotional control is not just a tool for managing stress or conflict. It's a way of living with intention. It allows you to align your actions with your values, build stronger relationships, and navigate life's challenges with grace. High-value individuals understand this, and it's one of the reasons they stand out in every interaction. Their calm, composed demeanor isn't just a skill, it's a reflection of their inner strength. As you reflect on this principle, consider how mastering emotional control could transform your life. How much energy could you save by letting go of reactivity? How much stronger would your relationships become if you approached conflicts with calmness and clarity? Emotional control isn't just about improving your communication, it's about becoming the kind of person who inspires trust, respect, and admiration. It's a skill worth cultivating, and the rewards are profound. High-value communication isn't just about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself, how you listen, and how you make others feel. Throughout this journey, we've explored the key principles that elevate your interactions: mastering emotional control, speaking with purpose, listening actively, embracing confidence without ego, asking thoughtful questions, and projecting stoic body language. These aren't just techniques, they're habits and mindsets that, when practiced, transform not only your relationships but also your sense of self. The essence of these principles lies in their authenticity. They aren't about manipulation or superficial charm. They're about becoming someone who is grounded, intentional, and genuinely interested in others. When you live by these principles, people are drawn to you, not because of flashy words or actions, but because of your presence, your steadiness, and your ability to connect deeply. Imagine the possibilities. Walking into a room and commanding respect without saying a word, having conversations that leave people feeling heard and valued, building relationships that are rooted in trust and understanding. These aren't distant ideals, they're entirely within your reach. As you reflect on these insights, ask yourself, which of these principles will you start practicing today? How can you bring more intention and purpose into your daily interactions? Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey of consistent effort and self-awareness. If you found value in this exploration, consider sharing it with others. Like this video and comment number 1 if any of these principles resonated with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that helps you grow, connect, and live as your highest self. Together, we can continue to unlock the habits and mindsets that lead to a more intentional and impactful life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Here's to becoming the kind of person who doesn't just speak but inspires, who doesn't just listen but understands, and who doesn't just live but thrives. Wishing you all the best as you take these principles into your life. Keep striving, stay intentional, and embrace the growth ahead.